Now, Pakistan could become a victim of the American sanctions, which are meant to target Iran's energy sector. Washington's threatening penalties following the launch of a joint Iranian-Pakistani gas pipeline project on Monday. The deal will help to ease Pakistan's energy crisis, but Washington's concerned it will also enable Iran to sell more gas and undermine US sanctions against it. Well, Ahmad Qureshi joins us now. He's the president of the lobbying group Pak Nationalist Forum. Thank you very much for joining us. First question, I mean, Washington was quick, wasn't it, to threaten Pakistan with these sanctions before the ink was dry on this project. So, I mean, why is Pakistan still pressing ahead with it?
Well, obviously, the United States does not have much options when it comes to Pakistan. They need Pakistan for the withdrawal of American troops and other NATO troops from Afghanistan, and Pakistan is the only way out. And as long as they need this route, it is not expected that Washington will really force ahead with the imposition of sanctions in Pakistan. But they would still, it makes sense for them to make these statements right now in order to maintain and sustain the pressure on the Iranian government. And of course, for the overall purpose of meeting their policy guidelines with regards to Iran. So it just seems to me, and seems to really many people here in Pakistan, that the Pakistani government did not go ahead with this project without taking everything into consideration. One of the key points that I'm sure Pakistani decision makers took into account is the fact that the United States may have to resort to giving some sort of indirect exemptions to the Pakistani government, exemptions from the law that imposes sanctions on countries dealing with Iran. And of course, the United States has done this in the case of several companies belonging to countries that are allied with the government of the United States. So there is a possibility that the U.S. government, while publicly maintaining pressure, will privately choose a course where it might try to accommodate some of the Pakistani reasons behind going ahead with this project.
You mentioned the reasons there, but is it pretty much a statement? I mean, there are commercial reasons, aren't there, behind this project, but the Iranian leader calls it a show of resistance against domination. Are there similar feelings in Pakistan, do you think?
There is no question that the Pakistani government is also sending an indirect signal here that we have reached a point in time since the alliance between the two countries after 9/11. We've reached a point in time where the Pakistani interests are really diverging from those of the United States, and they do not meet or see eye to eye on everything, and certainly they do not see eye to eye on Iran and this project in particular. The United States has done given Pakistan a lot of lip service to Pakistan's energy requirements. The U.S. government tried to engage Pakistan to meet Pakistani energy requirements, but it failed to, for example, meet a key Pakistani demand to spend approximately $1 billion on a mega energy project in Pakistan that would have solved the energy crisis in this country. The United States, unfortunately, despite passing several pieces of legislation to provide aid to Pakistan, including the very famous Kerry-Lugar aid bill, failed to commit that kind of money to Pakistan's energy needs. And I think it is the Pakistani decision makers have reached the conclusion that they can wait no longer and that they have to take decisions that would meet the Pakistani interest. And certainly this decision on the Iran gas pipeline is absolutely critical to Pakistan's security needs and the energy needs.
Okay, you say it's critical to Pakistan, but what about the relationship between Pakistan and the US? Surely that's just going to increase tension between the two, isn't it? And the sanctions that might follow.
Both countries, yes, both countries will be able to sort of maintain an acceptable level of engagement with each other. And it is not expected that this project would lead to a major rupture between both countries. And both Islamabad and Washington have faced critical moments over the past 5 years in their relationship, and they managed to sort of get over those points of crisis. And it just seems to me that this is one more point of crisis in the bilateral relationship that both governments would manage to overcome. Although I can see how this Pakistani decision actually would sort of create a huge dent in the American policy of containing Iran. It would do so. It would create a lot of anger in Washington, D.C. But as I said earlier, it doesn't seem that the American decision makers have many options really to pursue when it comes to Pakistan at this point in time, when they need Islamabad for U.S. hardware and troops withdrawal from Afghanistan.